Hello, hello. Hey, Coach Carmen here from the Happy Balanced Life. And today I wanted to come to you to talk to you about the reintroduction of foods once you start the Whole30 elimination diet. So the Whole30 elimination diet is really an opportunity for you to take away alcohol, dairy, grains, legumes, added sugar, and any junk food, if you will. And the purpose of this is to really figure out how your body feels and what's impacting your health with the foods that you eat. It also asks that you don't weigh yourself for 30 days because this is really not a weight loss challenge. And it also says stay away from MSGs, carrageenans, and sulfites. Okay? So this is really important. It sounds like a lot, but believe it or not, there's a lot that you can eat. So for those of you that have done the Whole30 challenge with me, congratulations. You're seeing this because you are towards the end, and I really am proud of you. If you did not complete the Whole30, have some grace. This is very difficult to start and to make a change. It takes a while to build the habit. The author of the book, though, the Whole30 diet, does require that you start over. The reason is because the only way the elimination diet works is if you truly eliminate all these foods from your diet for 30 days. The good news is you can still eat a lot of vegetables, meats, fruits, seafood. So there's plenty to eat, and there's this is a temporary assignment, if you will. So now it's time to reintroduce. Let's just say you've made it to 30 days. Yay you. This is fantastic. The first few days that you started the diet, you may have been feeling some withdrawal symptoms, but now you should be feeling fantastic. I definitely was sleeping better, had more energy, felt much better. So the purpose of the reintroduction phase, which is really important, is to understand which foods you should reintroduce and which ones you should stay away from. Because some foods do impact us differently. So dairy may impact you, but it may not impact me. Grains may impact me, but they may not impact you. We all are very different in the way that we absorb foods. So it's really important that we eliminate these foods and reintroduce them properly in order to see what works for us. So now it's time to reintroduce. Some things that are going to help you is the way that you reintroduce the foods. This is super important. So first, the goal is to stay away from the junk food, right? This should be a treat or an indulgence on occasion, but try your best to eat whole foods in general, and try your best to really stay away from processed foods as much as possible, because they're just full of junk that we don't need in order to survive, okay? So let's start with how you can reintroduce these foods. During the Whole30, like I said, you can't have dairy, alcohol, grain, sugar, and you can't weigh yourself. So there are two ways to do it. One way is what they call the fast track. And this means in the next 10 days, you want to figure out what's really impacting you, or you can do it over 30 days in a slower process. The goal is to introduce one item at a time. So let's just say you finished Whole30 and then you want to go out and eat some pizza, and you want to have dessert and you have the wine because you haven't had it. Not a good idea, because in those meals that I just described, you really are reintroducing too many things that you had eliminated. The goal of reintroduction is to do one item at a time. So for example, on day one, maybe you missed real half and half in your coffee, so you can have dairy the first day. Introduce the half and half or the creamer that you normally use. Maybe you can have some yogurt. Maybe you'll have some cheese on one of your meals or some cream, and that's okay because you're having dairy for the day. But then you have to wait a day or two to see, how does that impact my body? How do I feel? Does it make me lethargic? Did I feel sick to my stomach? Did it mess with my digestive system? How do I feel? Okay, that's the first thing. You wait another day or two, and then you might pick up something like grains. So maybe you have a breakfast sandwich, or you have some toast. Maybe you have, some buckwheat or some brown rice or something like that. And again, give it a day or two and sit with that to see, how do you feel with this kind of food. The goal here in the long run is to really understand how foods make you feel, your mood, okay? Whether or not you have headaches, whether or not you're breaking out in acne, whether you're having problems with your digestive system, are you having really strong cravings? This happens a lot with the sugar, right? Once you take it out of your system, you're good. And then if you start reintroducing it back in, you start getting cravings for more and more sugar or more and more sweets once you have them, okay? So an example, like I said, is starting with one thing and then every few days. Now, if you want to do the 30-day, because you really want to understand how your body feels, you do the same thing, but you'd reintroduce the things that you took out even slower. You might give yourself 3 or 4 days trying a certain food before you reintroduce a second food. So I don't know about you, but I really feel so much better after I complete Whole30. And the good news about Whole30 is that it's not a one and done. You can do this anytime that you feel like you're getting out of control. I do it every once in a while when I feel like the sugar dragon is getting back at me and I'm starting to eat too much sweets again. I will do Whole30 to clear my system out. I already know what impacts me and what doesn't. So it's really more about getting into what they call food freedom. This means that you understand your body well enough, you know how foods impact you, and you know what to stay away from and or what alternatives you should find. So I know folks that the dairy really impacts them, and they have started to use like a different type of milk, a different type of ice cream, for example. Maybe they've gone with an alternative to yogurt, but they really have made some shifts and they feel so much healthier for it. So the cool thing is that people do different rounds of this. If this is your first time, then we would call this Whole30 round 1. I know people that have done are like Whole30, round 7, because they've done this so many times over and over because they really feel good when they're in this space. So remember, this isn't a diet to help you lose weight, but for a lot of people, they do lose weight because they're removing some of the foods that is keeping them bloated and overweight. If they're eating too much of anything, it really can be impactful to you. So I hope this is helpful to understanding how you're going to reintroduce food back into your diet. Finally, if you've enjoyed this topic or learned anything on this page, I ask that you like and subscribe. And remember to share this information with anyone else that might need it. And as always, remember to have a happy and balanced life. Thanks for watching.